Hi everyone! I'm so excited that you're joining us for this essential oils class. I'm going to be teaching tonight about using essential oils in pregnancy, in labor and delivery, and also that really tricky postpartum phase where you have a newborn and you're not feeling 100%. So I'm really excited to share this with you. This is such a subject that's near and dear to my heart. I was introduced to essential oils. Oh, hey, Anna Karen. Oh, hey, Laura. I was introduced to essential oils when I was pregnant with my first little girl. I was having a lot of tension and sinus issues, and I really wanted to just pop whatever over the counter I normally would have used, and you can't do that when you're pregnant. So my midwife actually introduced me to essential oils, and that's kind of where my journey began with oils about 5 years ago. Hey, Amber. So I want to kind of talk to you guys about how you can use that to support your health. So I first want to give a little, I guess like a little plug for doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack. That is their supplement pack. It's amazing. It's a vitamin. It is a oil supplement, like an omega oil, and also a cellular energizer. So these are amazing. I know prenatal vitamins are just so important for your physical well-being as well as the baby that you're growing inside. So that's something that's so great, and I highly recommend just kind of as a baseline during pregnancy. I also want to talk about, I'm going to give you all kind of like, there's like 5 top oils I want to talk about, and if you see my eyes looking over here, I've got kind of my notes. So I want to talk about bergamot. Bergamot is awesome. It can ease leg spasms and aches. It's also really great for emotional well-being. It's the oil of self-acceptance, and being pregnant, there's a lot of changes and difficult things kind of going on. So that's awesome for emotional support. You can put it in a diffuser. Oh, and I have my little diffuser going. I'll show you guys mine. This is a really great way to get the emotional benefits of oil. It's just water in here and about 5 drops of my favorite essential oil. So bergamot is one that's awesome to diffuse. Ginger is another one. We all know ginger, those ginger altoids and things like that. I was sucking those down when I was pregnant. I wish I had had ginger essential oil because it's so strong. It can ease nausea, can also ease aches. It is an anti-inflammatory. It can improve your appetite, which is really important in that first trimester, and it can support your immune system. So that's another top 5 oil. Lavender calms anxiousness and tension, helps us sleep, and when we are pregnant and exhausted and our body is growing and kind of tired, it is so important to make sure we're getting sleep. So again, the diffuser is a great place for that. I like to make little roller bottles and keep them in my bag and also my nightstand, and I roll them on the bottoms of my feet and down my spine. So that's a way I love to use lavender. This is also a perfect oil for skin. So stretch marks, lavender, I also like to pair that with frankincense. That's really helpful for some of the stretch marks, some of that irritated skin, maybe some of that acne that you are getting with the hormonal shifts and things like that. It's also super gentle for baby. Once baby gets here, it's like the gentlest oil. It's so wonderful. It can be great for breast tenderness, muscle aches. Oh, and it's great for seasonal threats. So when you're getting that respiratory stuff with a change of seasons and you can't pop whatever your favorite over-the-counter is, lavender is an excellent oil to use to substitute for that. Wild orange, that's great for anxious feelings. It's also good for anger, hormonal ups and downs, nausea, and you can pair it with lavender to help with sleeplessness. And then it also supports digestion. So orange is a great one too. Ylang ylang, so that's great for sadness and frustration. Again, those emotional shifts, and it supports healthy circulation and good sleep. So those are kind of the top 5 I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I know that if you've been to my classes before, like one of the things I like to talk about is how to use the oils. I love the aromatic way that you can do a little palm inhale with a drop this way. And a few deep breaths. And you can literally get the aromatic benefits that way. It takes under a minute for it to get to that olfactory bulb in your nose and go into your limbic system. So you're affecting your brain chemistry with these oils. It's not just, you know, like a nice scent. So I love that way. You can also diffuse it like I just showed you with my diffuser. You can also make a mist. So that's really nice too if you're pregnant and nauseous and you're still in that nauseous stage. A little spritz bottle with water and whatever scent your stomach is able to handle. That's really great kind of for spraying. It can also cool your skin. And then the roller bottles, like I talked about, that's another really great way, especially if you're wanting emotional support. I love to use a roller bottle of the diluted oil on my wrists and on the back of my neck, kind of my pulse points. So that's how I like to use the oils. When you're pregnant, your skin might be a little sensitive, so make sure you're diluting. I love the recommendation that 1 to 2 drops per teaspoon is kind of where you start when you're making up little roller bottles to just kind of test to make sure your skin is happy. Because yeah, sensitive skin for sure. So a few other suggestions for pregnancy support. Anxiousness, we talked about lavender, ylang ylang, even geranium. You can also do a warm bath with those. That is one of my favorite things to do when I'm pregnant, is take a nice warm bath. And you'll be getting the aromatic benefits, but you'll also be absorbing it in your skin. The water actually pushes the oils to be absorbed throughout the surface of your skin, so that's a really great way to get the oily benefits. Bowel support, so lemon and ginger. I also really love our Digestin blend. Our Digestin is peppermint and ginger, caraway, what else? I can't remember everything. Coriander, tarragon, fennel. This is a really nice tummy settler. So putting this on the bowels, it's really important to stay regular when you're expecting. We talked about lavender for breast discomfort. Lavender and ylang ylang could also be great for circulation, preventing limbs from getting like clogged or swollen. The orange is great for fatigue. Yes, the Digestin was an amazing BOGO yesterday. It was so good. I hope some of you guys saw that and snatched it up. So you can also make a belly butter that I'll share with you, which is really great to try. I kind of talked about the lavender and the frankincense and that, but that's really great for stretch marks and skin support, itchy skin, that kind of thing. Lavender, bergamot, or sandalwood is awesome for muscle aches. And then this little spray that I showed you guys, you can make kind of an anti-nausea spray. You put either 10 drops of peppermint or ginger, 5 drops of orange, 5 drops of lemon into a little 2-ounce bottle of water like this. You can literally carry this around with you and mist it to calm your stomach, kind of calm you. This is an awesome, awesome tool. I have not tried this tip, but I love the idea of using ginger. One of your acupressure points is your earlobe, so you can massage the ginger onto your earlobe to help with nausea as well. And then as far as respiratory support comes, when you have those seasonal threats, lemon under your nose or on your chest or even on the bottoms of your feet is great. And sleep support, we talked about lavender, ylang ylang. Lavender is also great for tension in the head and neck when you're pregnant. And then lemongrass and cypress for urinary support. We all have that, you know, stereotypical going to the bathroom all the time thing when you're pregnant. So lemongrass over the bladder is helpful for that, and cypress over the kidneys. And the way you would use that is you dilute it in a little roller bottle like that. So that's a really great way to help that issue when you're expecting. I also wanted to point out that there are actual studies that show the effectiveness of essential oils in maternity wards. There was one done in the UK where they used soothing and calming oils like lavender, and how it actually helped calm the patients. So one of the things I really like about lavender is how it causes your brain, especially when you're using aromatically, it causes your brain to actually create more serotonin. So it's, again, I always tell people, this is not just like scented, smell good stuff. Like, these are actually improving, supporting your health, affecting your body chemically, and I think that's really empowering, especially as a mama and mama-to-be. That's really great to know that you are supporting yourself that way. So support during delivery. This is huge. I know it's really scary, especially if, you know, this is your first baby, or, you know, first baby and you're trying a VBAC or whatever. You know, birth is a scary thing. And so having some oils to support you during delivery is really, really helpful. I know that that was important to me, especially my last baby. So you can make a Calm Mama Mist, again, something like this, with lavender, wild orange, and peppermint. And it's 20 drops of lavender, 15 drops of orange, and 15 drops of peppermint. And this you can kind of just spray. You can have a nurse spray it periodically, mist it around you, and as long as it smells good to you, keep using it. If it starts smelling awful, you can nix it and get rid of it. You can try something else if you like. Labor is hard, and you want to have those oils to be supporting you. Back labor, black pepper. So black pepper essential oil diluted to your lower back, and that counter pressure that we've all learned about in birthing classes. So I love that there's even an option for that. And then I also want to make sure I share with you guys, and I'm going to post some of these notes for you up in the event page for you guys to see, but I want to make sure I talk to you guys about after delivery, because that is such a sensitive time. Difficult to recover. Not only are you caring for yourself and trying to support your body, your emotional state, your hormones, there's just a lot going on, but you're also caring for a new little person. So that is a lot. And if you have more than one kid, then you've got that too. So a lot of support postpartum is just super important. So anxiousness, we talked about lavender and orange being a great pair for anxiousness. I can't say enough good things about lavender. Being able to inhale that whenever you feel overwhelmed, or just those anxious feelings. You can diffuse that. Roman, chamomile, and frankincense. Those are other ones that you can try and see if those are calming for you. I also really love Roman chamomile for newborn babies. That's something that I really like to help calm them, help them fall asleep. Chamomile and lavender together, that was one that I used. I use that a lot on Zoe, my oldest. Yeah, so I really like that blend. And then cramping, when everything's kind of going back to where it needs to go back after birth, having some oils to kind of help with that cramping pain. You can massage diluted lavender or clary sage to your lower abdomen. Clary sage is kind of a hormonal support oil. It is one that we have in our Clary Calm blend for when you're not pregnant. It's just to help with your monthly cycles. But clary sage by itself is really helpful for labor. You can use that in labor also to kind of get contractions started. I had a bottle of that on standby just in case my baby was late. So that's also an oil that can kind of help the cramping to kind of speed it up, to kind of get it going. So that's good for when you're trying to, you know, let everything go back to where it needs to go. So you can put that on the lower abdomen, apply a hot compress, and then rest. And then perineum care, you can make a mist, and the mist is geranium, which is another hormonal support oil. I really like geranium. It's got an odd smell to me. Like, it's interesting because you may react. You may have several reactions to oils that surprise you. Like, you think, oh, this is going to be great, and it might smell really off to you depending on your emotional state, depending on kind of your health. So it kind of shifts and changes, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so geranium, lavender, and helichrysum. Helichrysum is a great oil for actual wounds. So bruises and wounds. So you're making a mist with those three oils, the geranium, lavender, and helichrysum, again into a small misting bottle like this, and you will top it with a carrier oil, a little bit of water. You can spray it and massage it onto the tender area. So I love that there's support for that, because that can be a really painful recovery. You can make some soothing pads with lavender, Roman chamomile, geranium, and witch hazel, those witch hazel pads, and keep those in the freezer. So that's another thing that is really helpful when you're letting all your physical body recover and heal. And then postpartum sadness. I mean, whether it's some mild baby blues or postpartum depression, we all kind of have that shift in our emotions postpartum. So lavender, patchouli, frankincense, and clary sage. Those are really calming, really supportive. Diffusing those is going to be amazing. You can put them in a bath. You could put them in just some coconut oil for some massage. Maybe you have a postpartum doula. Maybe you have a husband who wants to help massage and you know, support you that way. Those are really great oils for supporting you when you're having that sadness. And then breastfeeding. Oh, and I want to make a note too, you know, obviously if you have postpartum depression and it's severe, you should definitely consult a healthcare provider. You know, oils don't have to be in lieu of, you know, proper care. So please don't think I'm saying use this instead of getting help, because I'm not. So I want to talk about breastfeeding. Breastfeeding can be so difficult. Nipple care, lavender and olive oil to your nipples after each feeding will kind of help the skin heal, not crack. It's just a really good oil to add for that kind of care. So fussiness, you can diffuse lavender and orange around your baby. That will help calm you, but it will also help calm your little one too. And then discomfort. So if you're having plugged ducts or mastitis, I had so much of that with both of my babies, and I used a ton of lemon, and I use that in my underarms diluted. I also used lavender topically. That was really helpful. And then if I got to infection level with mastitis, I used oregano, which is a super, super strong, I like to think of it almost like an antibiotic oil. And the great thing about doTERRA essential oils is they are safe for internal use. So for example, the oregano I took in a capsule, and you'll want to make sure that, you know, you try it and it doesn't reduce your milk supply. For me, it did not, but I took oregano internally to help with infection. And I just want to show you, so any of the oils that have the little, can you see that? Oh, no, that one doesn't have it. Any that have this little internal, like nutrition information, nutrition facts on the side, that's going to be safe for internal use. So I definitely want to make sure you guys know to check that out, to look for that. If you want to take oils internally, you can take it in a veggie capsule if it tastes gross. You can put a drop or two in a glass of water, like a little shot glass almost, and just throw it back, get it down. Lemon is another good one to do when you're breastfeeding and recovering. So I really like having oils to support me for any breastfeeding discomfort. And of course, if you're applying lavender, lemon, oils to your breasts, you're diluting, of course, because that's really sensitive, but also you're keeping it away from the nipple and away from the baby. You don't want the baby to put it in their mouths, just because they're just so tiny compared to compared to a drop of oil. So make sure it's far from their little faces. You can also massage melaleuca. Melaleuca is a huge, huge immune boosting oil. It is amazing. You can make your own hand sanitizer with melaleuca, just water and melaleuca. So you can put melaleuca in some carrier oil with lavender and Roman chamomile, and that can be a massage when you're having plugged ducts and mastitis and that kind of discomfort. And then milk supply issues. So clary sage is great for beginning milk production. Again, that's one that I had to help me initiate labor, but it's also good for starting that milk production. If you're having trouble with enough milk and you want to increase milk, fennel. I ordered fennel before my last baby, and I ended up having the opposite issue where I needed to reduce the amount I was producing, so I ended up using peppermint. And peppermint can reduce milk supply, so it's kind of good to know that you've got two options. You've got peppermint for reducing, and you've got fennel for increasing. And for that, I suggest internal use for those. You can also apply topically, kind of over the milk ducts. And drink plenty of water and all of that same breastfeeding wisdom and advice. And belly butter. This can be used when you're pregnant, but it can also be used postpartum when you're trying to kind of heal up your skin and all your skin's kind of shrinking back up into place. You can make belly butter with coconut oil, cocoa butter, and I'll post this again for you guys. Coconut oil, coconut butter, shea butter, sandalwood, patchouli, and lavender. And you kind of melt the butters so that they're liquid and mix it all up, and it will get hard, and you can literally apply it to your body to help those stretch marks kind of fade and the skin to kind of go back to where it needs to go. So I really love those for postpartum. Postpartum is such a hard time. And then I want to make sure I talk about oils for baby. So newborns, they're so tiny. I tend to be really nervous about, what do I do with my little newborn? And under the age of 2, they're not supposed to have any sort of infant Tylenol, infant ibuprofen, like all of the child medicine on the back of the boxes says, 2 and older, which is no help when you have a baby under the age of 2. So I love that oils can support babies, even newborns. The key is dilution. You'll want to make sure that you are diluting it enough. And I'll post, there's a really great image, just like a graphic that I like that kind of talks about the ages and how to dilute your oils best for different ages. So the best oils for tiny new baby, lavender. That's great for emotional upset. Those babies who are just so colicky and upset, or maybe a baby that's just kind of angsty and having a hard time adjusting to sleep. Lavender's really, really awesome for that. You can do a little swipe on the bottoms of their feet. You can do a little swipe down the spine. I like doing it down the spine because, and I'm talking roller bottle application here. I love doing it down the spine because I feel like it absorbs into, it's close to the spinal fluid and goes up to the brain really easily that way. At least that's how I picture it in my mind, but it's really great to put it down the spine and on the bottoms of the feet for tiny baby. Lavender's also great for skin issues. It's so soothing. So any sort of, like my littlest got baby acne really terribly, and then any sort of like skin issue in the diaper area, lavender's really great for that. And then melaleuca. Melaleuca is also great for that sort of skin health, especially if you are having like roughness and rashiness in the diaper area that could be fungal. Melaleuca is an antifungal, so I really like melaleuca for that. And I definitely did that for Zoe. She had that. We were cloth diapering, and so we had a lot of issues with fungal rashes. So melaleuca and lavender together were a really great combination for us. Melaleuca is also, again, important for immune health. So you can dilute it in a little roller bottle and put on bottom of baby's feet, just as long as it's diluted enough and correctly. And then Roman chamomile. I love Roman chamomile. This is a big gun down the road for when your baby is teething. I really love Roman chamomile. It's calming, just like you would think chamomile would be. It's also good for skin as well. So these are all such gentle oils, these 3 oils, the lavender, melaleuca, and chamomile. I love them for little babies. And when your baby is teething, I do the little roller down the jaw. That's really helpful. And then the suggestion is 1 drop per 2 teaspoons. So that's really diluted, which you may think, oh, well, why, how is that even helping? It is, it's absorbing through their skin. They're little, it is just what they need. It's a great amount. Don't hesitate, because that sounds really small. So there are a couple other little things I want to talk about for a new baby, and one is colic. Fennel in the belly button is great for colic. Lavender to the bottoms of the feet. I have not had a colicky baby, but I was told that I was a colicky baby, and I feel like that would have been a game changer. Fennel is so calming for the stomach. It's in our Digest Zen blend, so I love that that is a good solution for little baby for colic. For cord stump care, you can apply lavender or myrrh to kind of help keep it clean and let it heal and dry up faster. For diaper irritation, like we talked about, you can make a little sore bottom spray, or make a little dried powder. And the sore bottom, you can get, again, carrier oil, melaleuca and lavender, a drop of each, and then also a drop of chamomile, and spray this just on baby's bottom, and it will help that rashiness to kind of heal and the skin to be soft. And yeah, that's just a really, I can't recommend that enough. That's awesome. So digestive support, we talked about the digestive blend, the Digest Zen. We talked about fennel being awesome, and ginger. These are good if it's not necessarily colic and you think baby just has an upset stomach. Again, apply to the belly button, diluted. For dry scalp, you can do lavender and olive oil. You can add it about an hour before bath time and then rinse. I actually had to kind of make something like this for Zoe when she was a baby. She had cradle cap, and so we did coconut oil and lavender and massaged her little scalp, and then we had one of those little hospital brushes that's super soft, and we would massage it off after it had set for a while, and the flakes came off that way. So that's a really great remedy. Dry skin. So instead of, I'm not going to name brands, but instead of that very prominent baby soap, body wash, shampoo, bubble bath line that we have learned in recent years has lots of carcinogens, which is crazy that it's marketed for babies but is actually really dangerous. Instead of using that stuff to moisturize your little baby's skin, their perfect little newborn skin, get a carrier oil. You can even use olive oil with lavender, a little dime-sized amount, just right after their bath. You can even do a little baby massage, infant massage, which I love. Help their little digestion. I have a friend who's a massage therapist and swears by the I love you technique, and that's really fun, where you do the eye, you massage down the belly with the lavender oil, then you do an L, yes, an L, and then you do an upside down U. So you just massage their little bodies after bath, and it's a great way to help them unwind, especially if you use lavender. You're letting them calm, you're letting them get that that calming touch, that important oxytocin with that skin on skin, and then helping them just wind down and get ready for bed. So I love infant massage, and I think adding lavender is a really helpful way to calm your little one. Ear support. So melaleuca, basil, and lavender. Those are kind of the 3 magic oils for ears. You can put it behind the ear. You never want to put oils inside the ear. Inside the eyes, inside the nose, just no, you don't ever put oils there. So for a newborn, you would just dilute and put around the ear. I personally have an amazing story with basil. I had an earache, which as an adult is so weird, but I had an earache 2 winters ago and was just so miserable. Woke up in the middle of the night in the most excruciating pain ever. And I had so much sympathy for my kids when they have ear infections. I didn't realize it could be that awful. And I had some basil that I brought with me. We were out visiting family. I brought with me to keep on hand in case my little girl's ear aches got worse. And so I put a drop on a cotton ball, and I just sat the cotton ball just on the very outermost, you know, I let it sit in my ear, but you know, it's just right there on the outside. And I did it to both ears, and I went back to bed, and within, I mean, it couldn't have been a minute, my ears popped and drained. So just knowing that that is what basil does to me helps me know that that is such an important tool for ear aches for little ones. So basil, and then the immune support of melaleuca, and then the anti-inflammatory properties of lavender, those are going to be so helpful for ear problems for little babies. And then immune support, you can do basil, frankincense, and melaleuca. And I have some of my oils next to me, but my frankincense is missing because it's my husband's favorite oil. He loves it. He takes it with him everywhere. He has several roller bottles made, and he took my main bottle too, which I love. I love that he is really into all of my oils. But so frankincense is kind of the enhancer oil. You can pair it with lots of different oils, and it will just enhance the effects. It's great for cellular regeneration. It's great for immune support. It's just amazing. The joke is, when in doubt, get your frank out, because if you're, I mean, it's just such a Swiss Army knife oil. So frankincense is amazing. It's also one of our more expensive oils. Retail, I think it's $93. So it's definitely worth it to check out. I'll post later here the link of all the different kits, because when you are looking for oils and you want to kind of get started, it's better if you kind of do a bundle, because when you bundle, you save. And frankincense is one of those oils that is really pricey, but if you kind of get it with a bunch of others and some of our bundled kits, you can get it for a really great price. So everyone should have frankincense. It's awesome. So immune support, basil, frankincense, and melaleuca to the bottoms of baby feet. Then teeth, we talked about Roman chamomile. You can also add lavender. And before I wisened up and knew how to use roller bottles, I would just keep a super diluted amount of oil like this just in my changing table, and I would add it to baby jaws as I was changing diapers. But oh my gosh, you guys, roller bottles, they are where it's at. They're amazing. I love them, and they're really easy to make. So yeah, a little roller bottle along the jaw is a really great way to do teething support. And then respiratory support for babies, newborns. That's something that I think is a little bit controversial, because you never want to negatively affect infant breathing. That's always really scary. So a really safe oil to use for respiratory support for tiny babies is lemon. So applying lemon to the chest or the bottoms of feet diluted, that is an awesome way to support little sniffly, congested, boogery babies. I mean, you don't want your newborn to catch something, but especially if you have older kids who are bringing home lots of germs, sometimes it's just unavoidable. So I love having lemon for that. Oh, Julie, so lavender and Roman chamomile are like the magic oils for teething. And I think the chamomile is like the heavy hitter there. And then, oh, I mentioned a sore bottom spray recipe. There's, you can make your own baby powder, which I think is so cool. I can't remember, there was a study that I read recently about talc, and how that's just really not a great thing to use for baby powder, primarily for the reason of inhalation. Like if they're inhaling it, which is hard not to when you're shaking baby powder everywhere, it's just not super safe. So I love that you can make your own. You use bentonite clay, such as Redmond clay. I think it's Aztec is the brand that I use. I got it from Amazon. It's really awesome. Bentonite clay is great because it absorbs. So 4 ounces of bentonite clay, which is about half a cup, and a drop each of melaleuca and lavender. And again, that is that immune support of the melaleuca, but it's also the antifungal. And then the lavender is just so gentle and great for anti-inflammatory. So I love that. You can kind of put this all in like a little, almost like a little salt shaker if you want, and leave it on your changing table. And easy. It's like, that's seriously easy. That's 2 oils, bentonite clay. You can also make a hand cleaning spray. I know that changing diapers, especially for my first baby, was I was paranoid about how clean my hands were afterwards. So you can make your own hand sanitizer. Like I mentioned before, I like our On Guard protective blend for my hands. This is awesome. It is all these really great protective oils. It has a wild orange, clove bud, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus leaf, and rosemary leaf. So the way I do this is I have a spray bottle with water, and I put between 5 and 10 drops of this in here and literally just spray my hands. You can also, instead of using On Guard, you can use melaleuca. Melaleuca is one that comes in our I think it comes in almost every single one of our kits. It's one of our top 10 oils because it's such a multi-purpose oil. It's really amazing. So you just make a little spray bottle. You can do witch hazel and water, and 5 drops of melaleuca, lemon, or On Guard. So that's really great to know that you can keep one of those at your changing tables. And you can make a cleanup spray. So talk about wiping diaper surfaces. I love that you can have a natural, chemical-free solution for that. So you can get 10 to 15 drops of lemon or melaleuca, empty a glass, you can use an empty glass spray bottle. You can also use plastic bottles if they're the PET grade. Oils can leach from plastic, so you want to be careful the kind of plastic that you're using. But anyway, 10 to 15 drops of lemon or melaleuca. Lemon is amazing. You can clean your whole house with lemon and vinegar. Lemon is such a germ killer, and melaleuca is such an immune boosting oil. So either of those, you could even do a mix of those 2 oils with water in a glass bottle and shake it, and then spray on surfaces, on bathtub, on toys, especially if you have little visitors coming in to look and touch all the little baby toys. So those are some really great tools to help newborn, that transition time with your little newborn. So I want to make sure that I also do a little shout out about how to get started with oils. If you are wanting to try some oils, this week is actually an amazing week. This happens to be doTERRA's BOGO week. We are having BOGOs, buy one get one free, specials every single day. So today is peppermint. If you buy peppermint, the wholesale price for that I think is $19, $19.50 maybe. I'll post it, sorry guys. You get Past Tense for free. And Past Tense is our headache blend. Past Tense is incredible. I happen to dilute it, but this is the head tension blend. This is for mama. This is amazing. I use this on the regular. I love this oil. It's so great for head and neck tension. Peppermint is great for, I know we talked about pregnancy, like smelling it. It's really good for nausea. So that is a BOGO that's happening today. It expires, I think it's 12 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you're interested in that, let me know. You can also get started with a kit, like I mentioned before. The kits are like the most economical way to get started with oils. When you get a kit, you're already getting a discount because the oils are bundled together, so you're saving that way. And then you're also, when you get a kit, you're also waiving the $35 fee to get you wholesale pricing. So wholesale pricing is 25% off of retail. So you can buy retail but it makes the most sense to start with oils with a kit. So I love the kit idea. You can do a kit and then you can get one of the BOGOs at wholesale pricing also. So it's just like, this is like the week to start if you're interested. And yeah, if you are, oh thanks Laura. Laura Ritchie is telling me that the peppermint wholesale price is $20.50, not $19.50. So yeah, $20.50 for the peppermint, and then you get, I think it's either $19 or $20 for the past tense for free. So it's so amazing. You should definitely, if you're into it, you should definitely check those out. So that's all I kind of wanted to share with you guys tonight. I hope this was informative and helpful. Please reach out to me if you are, having any questions, if you are curious about oils, if you are wanting specifics about, what did you say was great for stretch marks, or whatever, reach out to me. I'd love to help you. I'd love to help you get started on your oily journey. It's so empowering to be able to have these natural remedies to help us, especially when you're taking care of tinies. So thanks very much, you guys. I hope you'll have a great night. Bye.